After about 90 days of being in a skilled nursing facility or at home, not able to do two activities of daily living, such as walking around or feeding yourself, you no longer will receive assistance from Medicare. You'll no longer receive any benefits from your health insurance, and it's out of your pocket. Hey folks, Colin Richards here. And once again, I am thrilled to be talking to you about how you can achieve financial independence right here on Lorda and Richards Radio. Today, we're going to be talking about how to make sure, as part of a written income plan, that you not only optimize sources of income like Social Security, but that also you take your probability of success to 100%. You say, how can I ever do that? I don't know what can come up in life. Well, of course, I'm talking within reason, right? If we get hit by an asteroid, right, there are things out of our control. But using common scenarios that most people are going to go through, we can help you determine your probability of success of retiring financially independent, running up to 10,000 scenarios. Now, some of you might say, well, I remember doing something like this in my current broker's office. Well, a lot of times what I've discovered over the years is when people get these kinds of reports, first of all, they usually have to ask for them. They're not volunteered. But secondly, it kind of falls under the principle of the old acronym GIGO, G-I-G-O, which in computer parlance means garbage in, garbage out. And what I've discovered when people have brought these to me is a lot of times they're ultra basic. They're based on just an assumed rate of return, like, oh, I think you'll get 5%. They're based on a very broad budget, like, what do you like to spend each month? Oh, I don't know, $5,000. Very sketchy information, very inconclusive. In order for you to know with a high degree of certainty that you can retire financially independent, or if you're already retired, that you'll remain financially independent, is we've got to go granular. Now, this sounds like work for you, but it's as simple as giving us your expense report for last month. Some people call it a budget because they plan ahead. Other people look backwards and say, well, this is what I spend. Whichever one, did you know that when you put information into a computer, that you can actually take your budget and take individual line items like food, or maybe your taxes and interest on your mortgage or on your home, or maybe your medical costs, and inflation adjust those. Many times these reports just use broad general assumptions. Well, what I want to do is I want to use one number for inflation of your medical costs and a different number for your food and other ordinary expenses. I want to take your taxes and be specific. We're going to actually calculate them based on today's laws. And by the way, that's something we don't know in the future, but we can simulate if we want to higher taxes. But based on today's laws, we can extrapolate out what your taxes are going to be. This is the level of detail I never see. I just never see it in the kinds of reports that people are being given. Well, as part of a financial independence review, we conduct a financial independence review of your income. We do a written income plan that helps you know, hey, with all of your different sources, rent, Social Security, money out of your portfolio, whatever it is that you take in, this is how long you can expect that money to last. And our goal is forever, right? As long as you live. Here's another issue though. Life is full of surprises. And what I, again, almost never see is an assumption that, well, what happens if one member of a household dies early? How does that affect your income? Well, we're going to actually simulate that. What happens if somebody gets sick? Did you know that there is greater than a 70% likelihood that in a household of two, one of those people is going to need some form of long-term care? By long-term care, I mean the stuff that's not paid for by your health insurance or Medicare. That means after about 90 days of being in a skilled nursing facility, or at home, not able to do two activities of daily living, such as walking around or feeding yourself, you no longer will receive assistance from Medicare. You'll no longer receive any benefits from your health insurance, and it's out of your pocket. Wow, that is an enormous cost, and it's growing every single year. Currently, it's just over $116,700 per year. Holy cow. It's about half that if you're able to get care in home. But look, with the high likelihood, do you think it makes sense that we build that into your financial independence review so you know, hey, if somebody gets sick, we're going to be okay financially. We've planned in advance. Here's what generally happens is when we put in all these different scenarios, your budget, your retirement date, the features, and this is another key one, the features of your current portfolio, not a guess at how it's going to perform, the actual data, letting the computer analyze it 10,000 times over. We come back with a probability of success. A lot of times, that's a little bit rough number the first time we visit. But here's the good news, is that as we dial this in, we can help you position or reposition your portfolio to make sure that it will last even under duress, an early death, or somebody getting sick. And a lot of times we're able to add in additional money that our clients are able to spend, particularly during the early years of the retirement, which we call the go-go years, when you can get moving. Life is so short, and we want to take full advantage of it. The last thing we want to be doing is worrying about whether we're spending too much. We can give you a written plan that's going to show you how that works. And by the way, life is full of surprises. Maybe something changes down the road. Maybe it's for good or for bad, whatever it is. We're going to continuously and constantly update your strategy so that you always know where you stand. You always know what your options are. You always know if you're safe to continue being retired, if you've got enough. And that's the key. Now, one last thing I want to make sure that you do. I would like you to come in and let us conduct a financial independence review for you. This is essential, folks. Without this information, we're just guessing. We're just guessing. Almost nobody I talk to has had anybody ever empirically show them, using that level of detail that I've described to you, that they are okay. Oh, broad strokes, generalities, you look fine, a little report that's neither here nor there. But folks, I want you to have the information you need to feel confident, to relax, to enjoy, to feel your financial independence. I'm talking to folks just like you every single day. My team and I are doing it, and we're loving what we do as people retire financially independent. It just starts with a simple phone call.